What if I told you that the son of a rap legend just pulled off a comeback so wild it makes resurrection stories look like bedtime fables? Yes, King Harris, the walking headline, the drama magnet, the Prince of Chaos himself, has shocked the world with a miracle recovery after a brutal jail attack. And when I say brutal, I don't mean a minor scuffle in the cafeteria. I mean the type of beatdown that had fans whispering obituaries and critics sharpening their knives. But just when the internet thought it was curtains for King, he flipped the script. Out of the hospital haze, hooked up to wires like a rap game Frankenstein, this kid decided he wasn't done. He fought back. He opened his eyes. He came roaring back into the spotlight like a plot twist even Netflix wouldn't dare write. The internet didn't just react, it lost its collective mind. Memes flew faster than Blueface's baby mama drama, hashtags stormed timelines, and fans screamed miracle while haters screamed karma. Even T, the hardened king of the South, was reportedly in tears. That's right, the man who built a career on toughness broke down when his son pulled off the unthinkable, and trust me, this is just the beginning. The story of King Harris has always been drenched in drama. Born into hip-hop royalty as the son of T and Tiny, King didn't just inherit fame, he inherited controversy. This is the same kid who went viral for fighting at football games, clashing with his parents on Instagram Live, and bragging about being about that life while fans debated whether he even had the stamina for it. King Harris is the internet's favorite love-to-hate character, a walking plot twist. And let's be real, every time his name trends, you just know chaos is around the corner. But this time, chaos almost killed him. Reports leaked that King had been brutally attacked inside jail. Not a shoving match, not a heated argument, an actual, bone-rattling, blood-spilling brawl that left him clinging to life. According to whispers, it all started over a petty disagreement that snowballed into something vicious. Some insiders claim it was jealousy, others swear it was payback, and a few believe it was simply because King carried the kind of target on his back that comes with being T's son. Whatever the reason, the outcome was the same. King was left battered, broken, and rushed to the hospital. The first leaks were horrifying. Blurry screenshots of King on a stretcher began to circulate, and the internet did what it always does, it went into meltdown mode. 1 minute, fans were begging for prayers with hashtags like #PrayForKing, and the next, trolls were posting clown emojis with captions like "thought he was about that life." The split was savage, half the internet crying, the other half clowning. Then came the hospital footage. Somebody, clearly breaking every privacy rule in the book, captured a shaky video of King hooked up to machines, eyes closed, his body still. That video spread like wildfire, igniting every timeline with shock and speculation. Is he gonna make it? Flooded comments. People dissected the clip like it was a Zapruder film. Some insisted they saw him twitch, others swore he was gone. And just like that, King Harris became the star of the internet's most morbid cliffhanger. But this wasn't just any cliffhanger, this was the son of one of rap's most respected icons. And when word got out that T himself had rushed to his son's bedside and allegedly broke down in tears, the internet truly snapped. The king of the South crying? T, the man who built an empire on resilience, showing cracks in public. Fans couldn't believe it. Memes popped up instantly. T, edited as Mufasa holding Simba, with captions like "that's my boy." Savage? Absolutely. Viral? You bet. And then, when everyone braced for the worst, the miracle happened. King Harris woke up. Against all odds, against all predictions, the boy opened his eyes. Reports said his first movements were weak, but enough to send shockwaves across the culture. News outlets plastered headlines. King Harris fights back to life. Fans flooded timelines with celebratory posts. God did it. The prince is back. Hashtags flipped from grief to gratitude in seconds. The transformation was insane. Hours earlier, people were drafting obituaries. Now they were calling it divine intervention. Twitter trended with phrases like "Miracle King" and "He's still here." Even celebrities jumped into the mix. Rappers, reality stars, and influencers posted vague "thank God" messages, making sure to ride the wave of trending energy. Because in Hollywood, Even your survival is somebody else's PR opportunity. But here's where the sarcasm writes itself. The same people who dragged King last month for acting reckless were suddenly praising him as a warrior. Screenshots exposed fans who flipped overnight. One day tweeting he needs to grow up, and the next typing only the strong survive. The hypocrisy was endless. But that's the internet, it doesn't care about consistency. It cares about content, and King Harris recovery? That was prime content. The theories exploded too. Some fans claimed this was karma, that King's reckless lifestyle had finally caught up with him. Others insisted it was a setup, that someone inside jail had targeted him specifically to send a message to T. Wild Reddit threads spun conspiracies about rival crews, jealous inmates, and even industry sabotage. Fans went full detective mode, piecing together rumors like it was a Netflix true crime series. Meanwhile, the memes kept rolling in, because nothing escapes the internet's dark humor. One viral post showed King waking up in a hospital bed with the caption, "When the streets almost take you but God got other plans." Another depicted T holding a hospital monitor like a platinum plaque, with the caption, "Charting #1 in survival." It was savage, hilarious, and totally disrespectful, and yet it racked up millions of shares. But the biggest reaction came from the sheer spectacle of it all. King Harris' near-death moment turned into a cultural event. News outlets ran 24/7 coverage. Bloggers cashed in with dramatic titles like "The Prince of Atlanta Cheats Death" and "King Harris Miracle That Shook Hip-Hop." TikTok creators posted emotional edits of King's recovery set to gospel songs, while others used the same clips for comedy skits. The range of reactions was absurd. Half the internet crying, the other half laughing, and both sides glued to the story like it was their favorite TV show. The narrative was clear. King Harris had gone from reckless celebrity kid to survivor of a miracle. And whether you prayed for him or clowned him, you couldn't ignore him. His name was everywhere, his face was everywhere, and his story was impossible to escape. And just when you thought the chaos couldn't get louder, the celebrity reactions started rolling in. The second news broke that King Harris had opened his eyes, the celebrity circus pulled up faster than Kris Jenner to a contract signing. Everybody, and I mean everybody, suddenly had something to say. From rappers with dusty mixtapes to reality stars desperate for relevance. King's miracle recovery became the trending topic you couldn't buy your way into. And everyone wanted a slice of it. First, let's talk about the rappers. Within hours, timelines filled with predictable "prayers up" posts. But the internet has receipts, and fans dragged anyone who looked like they were clout chasing. One rapper posted, "Only the strong survive. Stay solid, little bro." The comments lit up instantly. "Sir, you haven't spoken to King in your life. Delete this." Another artist dropped a vague, cryptic tweet, "Energy always comes back. Protect yourself," like he was some hood philosopher. Barbs, Barty Gang, NBA Youngboy stans, Drake stans, every fandom jumped in, either clowning or overanalyzing. Twitter became a full-blown gladiator arena, and then came the comedians who smelled blood in the water. Memes and jokes flooded Instagram like a broken dam. One viral post showed King in a hospital bed with the caption, "When you talk tough but God hits pause." Another had him photoshopped as Lazarus rising from the dead, with T as Jesus behind him. Harsh? Absolutely. But in the internet economy, savage equals viral, and this story was printing memes like money. But not everyone was joking. Some celebrities went the serious route. A gospel singer posted, "This is proof of God's grace. When the world doubted, he showed up." Meanwhile, an R&B star went live, crying and saying, "This touched me deeply, y'all. Life is short." The comments? Ruthless. "Didn't you just cheat on your wife last week?" Fans weren't letting anybody use King's survival as a redemption prop. Even Blueface's name got dragged into it, because of course it did. The internet can't resist mixing scandals. People tweeted, "Blueface probably somewhere mad King Harris stole his trending spot." TikTok edits popped up comparing Christian's drama to King's recovery, with captions like, "Atlanta drama vs. LA drama, who's winning?" The cultural mashup was pure chaos. and fans ate it up like it was a Super Bowl halftime show. Meanwhile, King Harris' miracle recovery became a fan war of epic proportions. Supporters flooded Twitter with angel emojis, writing essays about his strength and resilience. Critics, on the other hand, doubled down, saying the entire narrative was being exaggerated. He didn't survive the Titanic, y'all. He woke up in a hospital bed. Ouch. But it didn't stop people from painting King as either a warrior or a walking meme. And then came the think pieces. Bloggers framed it as a lesson in humility, calling King's recovery a chance for him to reinvent himself. Others turned it into a cautionary tale about fame, privilege, and reckless behavior. But the internet doesn't do nuance. It boiled down to two camps: Team Miracle and Team Karma. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly, half of y'all saying God saved him, the other half saying the streets got him. Pick a storyline. The memes, though they were unstoppable. Someone photoshopped King's face onto a Marvel poster. The Return of King Harris, Endgame. Another showed T crying in the hospital, with the caption, "When your son finally makes the news for something bigger than Instagram lives." Even celebrities reposted some of the funnier ones, adding fuel to the fire. It was the kind of meme wave that ensures the scandal lives forever. And let's not forget the conspiracy theorists. They crawled out of the woodwork faster than ever. Threads popped up claiming the attack was staged for clout, that King's miracle recovery was really a PR stunt to reset his public image. Others suggested he was targeted because of his father's old beefs, spinning tales about hidden enemies and payback plots. Reddit lit up with evidence screenshots, timelines, and wild guesses, none of it confirmed, all of it entertaining. Cardi B even got randomly dragged and don't ask why. One viral post claimed, "If Cardi can survive Nicki's shade, King can survive anything." Irrelevant? Completely. But it kept her trending, which is all the internet really cares about, and through all the noise, the spotlight kept circling back to T. The man couldn't escape it. Clips of him allegedly crying at the hospital became the internet's favorite meme fodder. Fans edited him into the Lion King scene holding baby Simba. Others turned his tears into reaction gifs for every occasion. But beneath the jokes, people couldn't stop talking about how the King of the South had been humbled by his son's near-death experience. It was a rare, raw glimpse of vulnerability from a man who usually projects nothing but control. But here's the kicker: King's recovery didn't just shake up the culture, it boosted his clout. His social media following skyrocketed. Old videos resurfaced and started trending again. Streams of his music jumped overnight. Suddenly, the kid everyone loved to clown was a certified viral sensation, not just for his antics, but for surviving. In the twisted math of internet fame, nearly dying in jail was the biggest career push he'd ever had. And the reactions weren't just national, they were global. International outlets picked up the story, spinning headlines like "Son of Rap Legend Survives Brutal Attack" and "Miracle Recovery Stuns Hip-Hop World." Fans from overseas posted emotional reactions, turning King's survival into an international talking point. From Atlanta to London, from LA to Lagos, the world was watching. By now, the narrative had grown too big to control. It wasn't just about King Harris anymore, it was about fame, privilege, survival, and the internet's addiction to watching people fall and rise again. He had gone from cautionary tale to cultural phenomenon in a matter of hours. And the ripple effects were only getting louder. But here's the wildest part. While the world was busy debating, joking, and clout chasing off his name, the real question lingered: what happens next? Would King use this as a wake-up call, or would he double back into chaos? Would T tighten the reins, or let his son continue feeding the internet beast? And most importantly, was this miracle recovery the climax of the saga, or just another plot twist in a story that refuses to end? Because with King Harris, one thing is always guaranteed: the next chapter will be even messier than the last. The storm might have slowed, but the fallout? Oh, it was just getting started. King Harris' so-called miracle recovery after the brutal jail attack didn't just stun everyone, it ripped through reputations, rewrote narratives, and left the entire Harris family staring at a cultural mess that no publicist on earth could clean up overnight. First up, King himself. The boy who once lived in the shadow of his father's rap empire had suddenly become a global headline. And here's the irony: before the attack, King was mostly known as the internet's favorite meme character. Too rich to be truly street, too reckless to be polished, too unfiltered to be ignored. But now, he was branded a survivor. The miracle kid. The fighter. People were dropping Bible verses on his Instagram comments like it was Sunday service. God's chosen, the devil tried but failed. King Harris the warrior. The rebranding was insane, but not everyone bought into the sainthood makeover. Critics rolled their eyes and called it PR in disguise. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly: he didn't fight back to life. Doctors did their job. Y'all acting like he survived the Hunger Games. The sarcasm was brutal, but the point stuck: was King truly changed by this near-death moment, or was the internet just dressing up chaos as inspiration? Meanwhile, T couldn't escape the spotlight either. His tearful reaction at the hospital had already gone viral, and while some praised him as a vulnerable father, others painted him as hypocritical. So now you crying? Where was this energy when your son was out wildin' every weekend? Critics argued that the Harris empire had let King spiral for years, only stepping in when tragedy struck. For T, the attack wasn't just a family crisis, it was a PR nightmare dressed as sympathy. Tiny, on the other hand, became the quiet anchor in this circus. Fans praised her for standing by King without making it a media spectacle. But even she wasn't immune to the trolling. Memes popped up of her praying emojis in real life, with captions like "Tiny the real MVP," "Internet humor is ruthless, nobody escapes unscathed," and then came the larger cultural debate. King Harris' attack cracked open conversations about privilege, fame, and the blurred line between street credibility and celebrity recklessness. Was King targeted because of who his father was? Was this a case of someone trying to test the Prince of Atlanta rap? Or was it, as some fans insisted, karma catching up to someone who had played too many games with the streets? The debates raged across Twitter threads, podcasts, and barbershops alike. The reputational fallout spread beyond the Harris family. Other young celebrity kids, those who flaunt money, clout, and toughness online, suddenly found themselves dragged into the conversation. Fans pointed out, this could have been any one of them. Entire think pieces emerged about the dangers of internet flex culture and the way it makes privileged kids into targets. King Harris wasn't just a name anymore, he was a case study. And let's talk about the industry response. For weeks, rappers sprinkled King's survival into their bars like seasoning. One underground rapper dropped a freestyle. They tried to take the Prince, but the crown still glow. King Harris woke up. Let the whole world know. Fans clowned it as clout chasing. But it proved one thing: King's name was currency now. Labels, bloggers, even podcast hosts, it didn't matter. Everyone was cashing in. But here's where it gets darker. The attack also sparked whispers of retaliation. Conspiracy threads swirled. Was T plotting revenge? Was the Harris family working behind the scenes to make sure whoever touched King regretted it? Memes even portrayed T as Tony Montana, vowing payback. Nobody knew the truth, but speculation spread faster than facts. The internet didn't want answers, it wanted drama, and while fans played detective, King himself began dropping cryptic posts. A week after leaving the hospital, he posted a selfie with the caption, "God's plan can't be stopped." Within minutes, it went viral. Supporters flooded him with love. Critics mocked the fake deep energy, and conspiracy theorists circled like sharks. Every word, every picture, every emoji he posted was dissected as if it were state secrets. By this point, King Harris wasn't just trending, he was living rent-free in the culture's head. His name became shorthand for resilience, recklessness, and raw internet drama. One TikTok user summed it up: King Harris really turned his hospital bed into a stage. Savage? Yes. True? Absolutely. But here's the kicker: the story didn't just affect King, it redefined the Harris brand. T's family reality TV legacy suddenly felt like a prequel to this scandal. Old clips resurfaced of King clashing with his parents, now rewatched with a new lens. The signs were always there: Fans tweeted, turning old footage into prophecy. The Harris family wasn't just living through a scandal, they had become a full-blown internet franchise. The cultural consequences stretched far beyond Atlanta. News outlets debated whether this was a wake-up call for celebrity kids everywhere. Influencers posted motivational videos with captions like, "If King Harris can come back, so can you," and in the strangest twist, church sermons used his survival as proof of divine miracles. Yes, King Harris had made it from Instagram live rants to being preached about in pulpits. That's the kind of clout you can't buy. But through all the noise, one truth stuck. This wasn't the end. Because if history has taught us anything about King Harris, it's that he's a walking sequel machine. The internet already buzzed with questions. Would King change his ways? Would he drop new music capitalizing on the hype? Or would he spiral back into chaos, giving the culture another headline to chew on? Nobody knew for sure. But everyone agreed on one thing. Whatever King did next, the world would be watching, and that's the twisted genius of it all. In a world where clout is currency and scandals are stock, King Harris had just gone from nearly dead to cultural gold. And there you have it, the comeback story nobody expected, the miracle recovery that turned King Harris from internet clown to cultural headline. One day he was the kid everyone roasted on Instagram lives, the next he's being called a walking testimony. Only in 2025 could a jail attack turn into the biggest PR flip of the year. But now it's your turn, what do you think? Was this really a miracle, divine intervention straight from the heavens? Or just another chaotic chapter in the never-ending Harris family saga? Drop your wildest theories in the comments. I want to see conspiracy threads longer than a Drake album rollout. And while you're at it, don't just sit there lurking like Jay-Z watching drama unfold in silence. Smash that like button like it owes you commissary money. Hit subscribe harder than King hit that hospital comeback. And ring the notification bell like you're ringing the nurse call button after a brawl. Because let's be real, you don't want to miss the next meltdown, miracle, or messy twist we serve here. This is Fame Ripple, the only channel where scandals are currency. Exaggeration is an art form, and your favorite celebrity's chaos becomes our Netflix-style drama. Tomorrow's mess will make today's miracle look tame. And trust me, we'll be here with the popcorn ready. So lock in. Stay tuned and remember, in this industry, the fame always ripples and will be the ones making the waves. Fame Ripple, where drama never dies, it multiplies.